Crossed knives. Yes, I automatically recoil when I see knives crossed. But what do they mean, especially if we leave them crossed accidentally? And do they have the power to really affect us? The blade, as it has become known, began in the Bronze Age and was naturally associated with conflict, warfare and defence. The utility knife, which was attached to your belt, was once carried by mostly everyone back in the Middle Ages. So we had a different relationship with blades long ago. Crossing swords, regularly practiced in some early societies, didn't represent conflict, it was conflict. And as time went by, it gave way to a more amicable form of greeting where shaking hands demonstrated that you weren't holding a sword. Now, the spear and the sword have become ceremonial, consigned to antiquity, representing a past where societal conflict and power was strong. But the crossed knives still preserved the symbolism, bringing a message of conflict, a message that imminent conflict and disturbance is going on. The two of swords in the tarot and the two of spades in the playing cards both represent conflict and disturbance of some kind that's going on in an individual. It can foretell that an individual might be experiencing some kind of internal, family or community conflict in some way. Or it can be a warning about being in the presence of somebody who's exhibiting that kind of grief. We perhaps don't quite understand so much what cutlery could mean to us today. Some say that a fork and a knife crossed can mean conflict, or others can say that it means a man and a woman coming together. A knife dropped on its own, my mother used to say, meant a man was coming to the house, while a fork dropped on the floor or the table meant that a woman might be coming. And then she always had a phrase for a spoon: drop a spoon, see him or her soon, relating to some kind of sweetheart, I think. And then there's also the Welsh love spoon, used traditionally for wooing and courting. And the wooden spoon that stirs the cauldron of stew is always important to the family and a symbol of affection. We of course wouldn't have had the cutlery we have today in earlier times, but the message of knives being crossed seems to have lived on somehow. But returning to the blade, there is no symbolism more powerful or strong than the sword in the stone. I think that just tells us how much swords and blades meant to us in earlier times. Returning to the subject of crossed knives on the dinner table, what you need to do is to think of what's happening for you, what's going on for you when you actually find them crossed. Have a think about that. It usually works that you find that something's going on for you that you need to address. The overall message: uncross them straight away.